Have you ever noticed how a straw in your glass of water looks like it's broken or bent? Or maybe you've seen how your legs look weird when you're standing in a swimming pool. This isn't magic. It's actually a cool science trick that happens because of how light travels through different materials. Today we're going to discover why things look bent in water and learn about something called refraction. God designed our world with amazing scientific principles, and this is one of the most fun ones to explore. Light is like an invisible messenger that carries information about everything we see to our eyes. Think of light as millions of tiny waves zooming through the air at incredible speeds, always traveling in perfectly straight lines. When light hits an object like your pencil or your hand, it bounces off and travels to your eyes, which is how you can see things. Light moves so fast that it can travel around the entire Earth 7 times in just 1 second. Understanding how light moves is the first step to figuring out why things look bent in water. When light travels from air into water, something interesting happens. It slows down. This is because water is much denser than air. Kind of like how it's harder for you to run through a swimming pool than through air. Light can zip through air really easily, but when it hits water, the water molecules make it work harder to get through. Think of it like a race car going from a smooth highway onto a bumpy dirt road. It has to slow down because the surface is different. This change in speed is what starts the whole bending process that makes things look weird in water. When light slows down as it enters water, it doesn't just get slower, it also changes direction. This bending of light is called refraction, and it happens at the exact moment light crosses from air into water. Imagine you're rolling a ball straight across your floor, but then one wheel hits a thick carpet while the other wheel is still on smooth floor. The ball would suddenly turn because one side slowed down before the other side. That's exactly what happens to light when it hits water. Part of the light wave hits the water first and slows down, causing the whole light beam to bend at a new angle. Your brain is really smart, but it can be tricked when it comes to refraction. Your brain always assumes that light travels in perfectly straight lines, which is usually true when light moves through air. So when your eyes receive light that has been bent by water, your brain traces that light backward in a straight line to figure out where the object should be. But since the light actually bent when it went through the water, your brain calculates the wrong location for the object. This is why a pencil in water appears to be in a different position than it really is. Your brain is doing math based on incorrect information. Let's solve the mystery of the bent straw once and for all. When you look at a straw in a glass of water, you're actually seeing 2 different versions of the same straw. The part of the straw above the water sends light straight to your eyes through the air, so that part looks normal and is exactly where you expect it to be. But the part of the straw underwater sends light that gets bent as it travels from water into air before reaching your eyes. Since your brain thinks this bent light traveled in a straight line, it makes the underwater part of the straw appear to be in the wrong place. That's why the straw looks like it's broken or bent at the water's surface. You're seeing the real location of the top part and the fake location of the bottom part. Once you know about refraction, you'll start noticing it everywhere. When you're standing in a swimming pool, your legs and feet look shorter and in weird positions because the light from them gets bent as it travels through the water. Fish in aquariums often look bigger than they really are because the curved glass and water work together to bend light in special ways. Even something as simple as a spoon and a bowl of soup or your hand in a sink full of dishwater will show this bending effect. Rain puddles on the street can make things look deeper or shallower than they really are because of how light bends when it bounces off the bottom and travels back up through the water to your eyes. Learning about refraction helps us understand and navigate our world much better. Scientists and engineers use their knowledge of how light bends to design amazing things like eyeglasses that help people see clearly, microscopes that make tiny things look huge, and cameras that take perfect pictures. When you understand refraction, you won't be confused when you're trying to grab something underwater. You'll know that it's probably not exactly where it looks like it is. Fishermen have known about refraction for thousands of years because they learned that fish aren't always where they appear to be when you're looking down into the water. God designed the laws of physics in such clever ways, and understanding refraction is just one example of how science helps us appreciate the incredible world He created for us. What's the most surprising thing you've seen that looked bent or weird in water? Share your coolest refraction discovery in the comments below.